Okay, Robert Steinhaus. We've seen it before. Countries like the U.S. have built dozens of reactors within the space of a decade. Is there any reason why we can't do that again?
No, there sure isn't, Rick. I think the message should go out that we still have all the resources that are needed to make lifters, certainly. Lifter is a thorium reactor that has many wonderful properties. One of them is that it's relatively easy to construct, even with the industrial infrastructure of average industrial countries. Building some of the pressure vessels that are required to build light water reactors is difficult. So we have lost some of that technology, quite frankly. We would probably have to go to the Japanese in order to build more light water reactors. But the central element to the question is how we can get licenses to build new reactors. It has been 35 years since the last licenses were granted. Within the last few months, we've gotten 2 licenses granted by NRC, but 2 licenses in 35 years, doesn't cut it. It won't allow nuclear to continue to hold a place in American power generation. So really the focus should be on how can we streamline regulation to get the regulation we need so as to be able to continue to keep this important technology alive in America and to expand it so as to improve the conditions around the globe with respect to global warming.
I know you see the way that they have been run in recent years, or maybe even since their conception, that they have been an obstacle to progress in nuclear energy. What would you look for in the leader of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission?
Right. Well, leaders are important. There's no denying it, but there's also the fact that the way that the NRC is structured is itself a major problem. Certainly I'd be looking for a leader that has some amount of technical experience and some industry experience. Just taking leaders, chairmen of the NRC that are desirable for some political reason or another, or have affiliations, loyalty to a particular senator or something like that, that's not a sufficient reason to appoint such a person chairman over the entire NRC and the process of guiding nuclear energy into the future. I did actually extend a little into the AEC period, Atomic Energy Commission. I may have been among the last 100 people that were hired by the AEC. So you might be looking at, like an old fogey from the AEC era, but the people that led the AEC for the dominant amount of time when we built all the reactors were guys like Glenn Seaborg. He was the secretary, and Glenn Seaborg has left his paw prints over all of nuclear science, and like 11 different elements, on the periodic table are, bearskins up on his wall, those including uranium-233. So the kinds of guys in the AEC era that we had guiding the process, and being regulator-in-chief, were guys like Glenn Seaborg. And we've got a ways to go back to that level to continue to guide wisely, nuclear into this age.
What do you think of when a person that is eligible for the role of a leader tells you that they are neutral about their feelings towards nuclear energy?
Yeah. Well, the way that the NRC is currently configured, they have a single focus of defending public safety. So a chairman presently doesn't really have to care about nuclear technology, doesn't have to care if it's built anymore. All they have to care about to fulfill what's required of their job is just to ensure that whatever is built is safe. And unfortunately you can do that with a pretty quizzical or ill-defined, attitude toward nuclear, even a negative attitude. Several of the, the chairmen of the NRC have in recent years been actually anti-nuclear. Once leaving the NRC, they would actually take positions in the anti-nuclear efforts of various lobby groups. So it's not satisfactory to the industry, it's not satisfactory to America and its needs right now to become energy self-sufficient, to have people like that leading the effort in the NRC. It just isn't.
That in itself is bad PR for nuclear industry.
It is. It's heartbreaking, really. The guys that have invested, most of themselves into the technology, that have, spent long, hard years learning how to make it safe and engineer it, to have a guy that's basically making the calls as to whether you can build it or not, being someone that's ambivalent or negative, that's not going to get it done. And we had it better, we had it different in the Atomic Energy Commission era. We had guys that could weigh, risks in terms of safety with benefits to society in terms of economic and military, even security benefits. You can't really separate functions completely like they've tried to do with the current the current NRC and DOE format. Really, society is best served by combining those elements once again and asking the regulators and the chairman of the Energy Division to balance for us, or to optimize for us, the various requirements to come up with a solution that serves the country. That's what we need. We need to return to a balanced regulation like that.
Okay, thank you very much.